So you want to spawn AI in Forge, huh? Well, I'll show you how to do it after this really annoying intro. This is AI Playground for Halo 4. It's a modded version of the Spartan Ops Valhalla, so it won't have all the multiplayer objects from the regular Valhalla. Now you do need a modded Xbox to run this, and if you need one, you can go to different modding websites. They usually offer services where they can either mod your Xbox or sell you a pre-modded one. Now if you do get a modded Xbox, don't be a piece of shit in mod matchmaking. You don't need to ruin the experience for other people just so you can be an asshole. So anyways, this map will allow you to spawn most of Halo 4's AI from campaign all in Forge. Now the great thing about Halo 4's Forge is you can delay the AI spawn points just by setting the object to not spawn at start and giving the object the spawn time. So you can have the AI spawn in waves, which is essentially just creating a really bare bones version of Firefight. Another great thing about Halo 4's Forge is when you kill an AI in multiplayer, it gives you points as if it was a player. So any AI that you kill will give you points and add to your score. So you could go against your friends and try to get the most kills, the highest score, all that kind of stuff. I've also added a bunch of script objects that can change the way the game works, such as game speed, making the AI not see players, but I'll get into that later. So I know what you're thinking, why do the textures look like dog shit? Well, it's because Halo 4 does this weird optimization thing where it starts to render the objects at lower levels of detail when too many tags are loaded into memory. So it was either I cut most of the fun stuff from the Forge palette, including AI, or I just let it look like dog shit. I'd rather have it look like dog shit and have more fun. I mean, they don't matter that much to me. I'll probably go back after the release and try to optimize it more, maybe remove some of the extra scenery in the Forge palette, see if that helps. But if there's not much I can do, then I'm just not going to mess with it. So anyways, let's jump to the Forge palette so I can explain some of the stuff in it. So when you look in the Forge menu, you'll see that it's pretty similar to any other multiplayer map's Forge menu, well, aside from the artificial intelligence and the scripts menu. But anyways, if you go into the weapons, you'll see that some weapons have subcategories. You can spawn the skinned versions of all these weapons because I thought it would be a good option. I don't see why it wasn't included in the game in the first place. But anyways, you won't see many new weapons except for like Combat Knife, which is just a reskinned sword with a faster melee rate and less damage. It was pretty fun, I liked it, so I just kept it in there. Covenant menu has a Jackal Shield, which it deflects bullets, but it's kind of worthless, but some people want to mess with it. And the Forerunner weapon menu is pretty much the same. It has a few skinned weapons, but it also has this cut weapon called the Stasis Rifle. Now the Stasis Rifle was a weapon cut from the game, and I think Lord Zed made a video of it a few years ago, but I just added it because I gave it a first-person HUD, so it's a bit more usable. So if you want to play with that, you can. Now the equipment menu is just all your basic bitch shit. It has armor abilities, if you want to use those, and then power-ups. There's not much else, because I mean, it is a Spartan Ops map after all. Vehicles menu is pretty much the same old, same old. You got your Banshee, Ghost, you can spawn a Phantom, but it falls through the level if you don't grab it, so you better grab that sucker and get in it quick. There's a Wraith, Warthogs. It's all the same Warthogs you normally have, but I did add a unarmed one because people like Warthogs without turrets. They look pretty sexy. Pelican, it's the same old Pelican from campaign. You can fly it around, shoot it, kill people, all that same old stuff. Mantis, and finally there's also some turrets. There's standalone chain gun, Gauss, and rocket, and then you have your shade turret. The standalone turrets I think were actually cut from the game because I never saw them in Halo 4. So anyways, let's get to the real reason you're here. Let's jump into the artificial intelligence menu. In here you'll see a variety of different characters. I tried to give each character a bunch of different ranks and weapons that they can use, so you have more options to choose from. Now the thing that sucks about Halo 4's multiplayer is your team color doesn't correspond to an AI team, so no matter what team color you're on, the AI are still going to try to kick the shit out of you. So that sucks, but let's go through this menu and see what kind of enemies you can spawn. I'm just going to scroll through them without talking, so I don't really need to read everything to you that's already on the screen. So that stuff's pretty cool, but let's check out the other menus. The spawning menu is pretty basic because, again, this was a firefight map, so you only have some of your standard stuff. You're not going to find any multiplayer objects for like oddball or capture the flag or anything like that. The scenery menu is just your basic bitch scenery that you'd see in multiplayer, nothing really special in there. And finally, the last item is the scripts menu. Now, the script menu has some pretty cool stuff. These are objects that execute scripts when they are placed on the map. Now, what's cool about these scripts is they will override the previous ones. So if you spawn a script that disables gravity, then you have one automatically spawn 10 seconds later that re-enables it, it'll overwrite the previous one. So you can keep changing all the settings as the time goes on. Now, some of the scripts we have here are Invincible Players, which is pretty obvious. It makes all the players invincible. AI Ignore Players, which basically just makes AI so they don't shoot at any of the players, they'll just fight amongst themselves. Gravity, which affects the global gravity for everything in the map, which actually gets pretty weird if you set it to a negative number. AI Processing, which basically just controls AI logic, so if you want to spawn some enemies to shoot at without them moving or shooting back, just disable that. Then you have a few skulls that you can toggle: Blind Skull, Grunt Birthday Party, Cowbell, Black Eye, Mythic. And then finally there's game speed, so if you want to change the speed of the game to play in slow mode or play really fast like you're piped up on crack, you can do that. So anyways, that's pretty much all there is to the map. If you want to download it, it's in the description. And if you want to see more gaming videos and other shenanigans, subscribe.